Good morning. It is 11:15, and I will turn this up. It is 11:15 a.m. here in London, Ontario, Canada, and it is a hot one. Whew. I'll tell you, it's gonna feel like it's hot. We're talking in the 40s with the humidity. That's right. Stay cool. What if someone has fixed you in a place of manipulation? What if I told you it was 46 and it was only 36? Right? What if a con man came in and gave you an idea of something that's not real? Yeah. Well, a very good morning and afternoon and evening and across the universe. I am Rhonda Fair. It is very nice to meet you if we have not met yet. Up here in this apartment, I do not have air conditioner in here. So thank goodness my body is air conditioning because it is sweating. So our body does a function. It is sweating for me to regulate the temperature in my body. It's not that great when you're getting ready though. So you just let your hair go and do the best you can. And here alone, thinking about thinking and higher reasoning. Yes, again, another day for us. I'd like to share something with you. I would travel down memory lane of a person I know, actually a few. And it's a good thing to get knowledge because if you don't get knowledge, you won't learn. And you don't recognize things from other people. So you will just take it for granted as, oh, it could be that, whatever. Be very careful with labeling and ideas. There is a person behind this, and he's called a con man. He's called a con man. Just picture in your mind this con man, and he is a psychopathic sociopath with full narcissist behaviors and no empathy as I speak. And in his prefrontal cortex and hers, there is also, we will recognize there's 9 functions of our prefrontal cortex. When a narcissist, a psychopath, and a sociopath experience not some of these. So a lot of times in the back of the brain, also where the cerebellum is, there's parts that functions are breathing and whatnot. But also there's an area where a psychopath, well actually you have to know what a psychopath is before they even like to even label it of a psychosis going on inside somebody, because psychosis can be also caused by drugs. So here in this, empathy. So the person does not have empathy. The person does not have insight. So they don't think of things like just the talk. So they live in an illusion and a delusion. So what happens is when a person, that kind of person harms you or cons you with that kind of thought, they don't think of what's going to happen to you or what did happen to you. That does not appear. The only thing that matters to that person is seeking attention. It's all about them, and you don't dare do it to them. They don't have a real response flexibility, and they do not have an emotion regularity. So there is no emotion when it comes to someone being harmed. Such as, someone torments an animal. What is your feelings inside? A lot of us take great pleasure in having animals around us and nature. And picture in your mind someone tormenting that animal and does not show any kind of emotion. This kind of person is dysfunctional in the prefrontal cortex. In this, in the body regulations, in the morality and intuitions, this person does not have, and also does not attune in with communication. So it does not have the fear modulation either. They do not fear of breaking laws. There is no fear of breaking laws. Their minds might be such as, and it's a scary thought, but they actually will eat a person to be part of that person. It's sick, it's twisted, but to them it's not. In theory, information transferred and carried over. Can another person pick up traits genetically from another person? Yes, it is possible. I have been stated to me as, Mom, I don't want that to happen to me. You're not going to allow that to happen to me. The thing is, if a person, such as a partner, you're a man or a woman, if they have traits of any kind, or the grandparents would have traits of this psychosis, that show no empathy, that is a sociopath. So here's an example of a sociopath. If a person likes to starve themselves, so they starve themselves to get that feeling of pain and starvation, and they endure the pain and suffering of starving and enjoy it. They do it on purpose. This is a sociopath. If a person forces their bladder not to pee for the pain, that person is a sociopath. I know someone was in my life who is a sociopath, believing that if you starve yourself and you make yourself hunger and be in pain, that is an enjoyment. Yeah, that's a sociopath. Thank goodness I learned this from Dr. Phil, because I was wondering what that was. I thought, okay, that's just weird to me. But I find out it's because that person is a sociopath. So they get off on harming others. They have no empathy. They run in circles. They will go to each person and find ways to manipulate, to change information, to trick you and con you. Again, the information can be transferred or carried over, and it is something organic and physical. Psychosis can and is related. It is symptoms like a fever. We'll have hallucinations, delusions with a substance. So if the person even does that, it only adds to the psychosis. Now, do not get mixed up with the substance abuse with psychosis. Those are examples that you can have from taking types of drugs. Cannabis affects the dopamine. So does alcohol. So what it does, it just gives it fourfold, sixfold, and it just keeps giving more and more. It can affect the brain for your future. LSD, mushrooms, what do they call that? Magic mushrooms? MDA and peyote. I know someone who, a lot of people, they go to Arizona and have peyote, and it's legal here in Canada. It is a drug, and you have to be very, very careful with. And it is legal. This drug here can be taken, and it will cause visions of delusions. People use it in a spiritual way where they believe they can go deep spiritually, and a philosophical, and have insights on this. Again, you have to be very, very careful, because when it affects your prefrontal cortex, it also affects your limbic brain. And it will not know when to fight or flight. So it freezes up and its stress response. It questions itself. Am I safe? Am I she? Am I he? Is it really that color? Do people want me? Oh my gosh, they're chasing me. That is hallucinations. Emotions live in your limbic brain.